Do you want to know the difference between this ad and this ad? I mean, look at them. They're pretty similar, but the difference is around $168,000 in profit. And that all comes down to one simple thing that we did right, which is our ad targeting. And in this video, I want to explain the exact targeting strategy that I use to make more money with my meta ads to the tune of 4, 5, 6, even as high as an 8x return on my ad spend without changing anything other than who my ads are going to. And it's the same strategy that's allowed me to achieve six-figure months, not only for myself, but for those of my clients here at my agency, callfunnel.com. Matter of fact, we've been able to collapse the amount of time we spend in the ads manager setting up and launching down to around 30 minutes, where we're getting consistent results launch after launch because we've perfected the targeting that we use inside of our ads to be able to attract the right type of customers to us. High quality leads, the people that rock up and buy your product in a 7-day sales cycle, one call closes. You know what I'm talking about. But ad targeting, when done wrong, can leave you in the wasteland of tire kickers, brokies, can't afford your service, and leave you wondering if your niche or your market is even viable. So stick around, because we're going to cover everything that you need to know to be able to bring better leads into your business using what we've not only learned, but proven multiple times for ourselves and the clients that we work with. Now, if you're new here, welcome. All we talk about is growing businesses using high ticket call funnels. If you're a business owner, you probably use one of these to convert clients into your business, whether it's a low ticket product, group funnel, DM, cold outbound. You send people to book a sales call as part of your call funnel to make you money. Now, if you're a high ticket closer, well, this video is equally applicable to allow you to guide the business owner and or give you some practical things that you can use today to be able to bring better leads onto your calendar and increase your commissions. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and drop a like so you don't miss any of our future uploads. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into everything that you need to know about targeting. So the first thing for you to know about having proper targeting is going to be your setup and the settings that you should use. And this is where the game has completely changed from what all conventional wisdom would tell you, which is that granular targeting is dead. And what I mean by that is no longer should you be using specific interests, specific audiences. You shouldn't even really be picking age ranges for your ads anymore. And this is because Meta's algorithm has gotten so strong over the last couple years with the evolution of AI that even you've probably seen in your day-to-day life, that their algorithm is now better than ever at being able to predict who is most likely going to convert on your ad and who should even be seeing your ad in the first place. And this is because, once more, Meta has 5,200 data points per user. You probably don't even know 5,200 things about yourself. Meta has cookies and pixels on most of the sites on the internet, and they can see when you visit them, they can see when you have specific intent, they see based on the content in your feed, who you DM. If you do anything on a platform and software run by Meta, they can see it, and they will use that to understand where you're at in the buyer's journey and if you're qualified for something like this. And so this is where picking interests or audiences, which is the way that we used to advertise in the past, is no longer something that you should do. Now, I'm not saying you can't do it. You definitely can, but it's going to come at the cost of what's called a higher CPM. And if you're new to advertising, a CPM is pretty much the cost for raw attention. How much is it going to cost you to get your ad in front of the eyeballs of potential customers? In countries like the ones I'm in right now, which is Colombia that I'm traveling through, CPMs might run me $5 to $10, but take yourself up to North America, they're going to run you anywhere from 70 to 80. If you're in the market that I'm in, which is for high ticket businesses, it might cost me a whopping $150 to $200 to get the eyes of you guys. And that's without targeting. That's when I run open targeting. If I throw an interest on there, well, I'm going to be prepared to pay $200 to $250 to get your eyes. And all that does is eat away at your margins. So the first thing to do away with is interest and audience targeting are a thing of the past. But the targeting that you can do is going to be geographic, it's going to be age, and it's going to be gender. These are the 3 types of targeting that you can do. I personally don't touch these unless I'm in specific niches, like relationship coaching to a specific gender. You can choose either male or female. Sorry for you guys that might be binary, LGBTQ. There's just not an option that fits on the platform. Ages, usually I feel like you're gonna have offers that most offers are gonna fit either the 40 or under or 40 or over. That's usually the cutoff. If you're an affiliate marketer, you might be using more of those 40 and over to sell different, hearing and different supplements. And geographies, this one is totally ninja, but it's probably going to require you to change how you advertise as a whole, simply because different geographics have different laws around what you can or can't say. For example, Australia and any country that's part of the European Union are going to be a lot more strict on make money claims and anything that has to do with health and fitness compared to the United States or other countries. Relationship coaching is about the same in these demographics. You won't have to change much, but the UK right now is a country that's particularly difficult to advertise in because of the geopolitical climate, but that's a topic for another video. video. Now, you might be thinking, how do I get the attention of my target customers if I'm not allowed to pick interests? This is where you need to be using callouts. Now, a callout is nothing more than how you communicate who your ad is for in the messaging. So for example, there's two ways that you can do this. It's going to be in the actual scripting and the things you say if it's a video, and it's going to be in the headline if it's an image. You can also do it in the videos as well. Now take a look at this ad here for a moment.
Coaches and consultants, give me 14 days and I'll install my direct call funnel along.
Okay, so you can see that in the first second of that, I say who it's for. That is what's called the proper use of a call out. An incorrect way to do call outs, remember the example ads I gave you earlier, is this right here. Check it out.
If you're an expert in tech, software, cybersecurity, IT, cloud, and app development, and wonder how you can build a course or a coaching program.
Do you know what's wrong with that? I'm doing too many call outs. What's important when you're making ads is that you have max 1 to 2 callouts and no more. If you have a product that can be sold to multiple people, it's best that you actually just have more than one version of the ad going to those different audiences, as opposed to trying to lump all your callouts together in one ad. The reason being is a message for everybody is a message for nobody. Now, those are what's called audience callouts. There's another type of callout which is going to be problem or offer callouts, which is if you speak to a specific pain that someone's experiencing or a specific outcome that someone wants to achieve, that is a way of qualifying who it's for. Now, the difference between these two is I'll give you some examples. If I say, plumbers, are you struggling with back pain? That's a call out to a qualifier or another call out that talks to the problem. And it's a good way to be really niche. But if I want to be more broad, I can just say, are you struggling with back pain? And I can use other parts of my messaging to be able to call out a little bit more of who it's for. Now, so that's problem-based call outs. Now let's talk about offer-based call outs, which is, do you want 10 appointments on the calendar this week? Do you want 10 new clients this month? Now that's pretty broad, but there's a specific niche of people that care about appointments and clients. Now, if I say, do you want 100 cash pay clients this month? Now that's going to speak to a different audience. Maybe you're working in medical or businesses that bill through insurance and you don't want insurance-based customers. So those are the 3 types of call outs. There's the direct call out of who it's for, there's the problem-based call out, and then there's the offer-based call out. And what I found is that if you do who it's for, that will usually bring you the best results out the gate. Problem-based offers are going to be the cheapest CPMs. Offer-based callouts are going to be the most expensive CPMs. So now that you know that you're not supposed to see the audience interest and you understand the different types of callouts, the next thing that you want to add in is hyper-specific copy. Behind every callout, whether it's going to be a video ad or it's going to be an image ad, you want to have very specific copy. The best place to practice and get your copy out of the way is what's going to be in the primary text of your ad. This is what happens when someone clicks on the description and or the caption to learn a little bit more about what it is that you have to offer. I recommend that you take the time to write a full-length copy. I used to not be a believer in descriptions or captions being worthwhile, but believe it or not, matter of fact, people that read things convert better than those who just watch things because they're a little bit more intellectual. They use their brain. If they'll take the time to read and really understand what it is that you have to say, they're usually a more intelligent person versus someone who's a doom scroller or brain rot consumer that's just clicking on things and doesn't have a second thought. Those are the types of people that might move a little bit slower through your sales process, those who read, but when they convert, they commit and are better long-term customers, versus people who are very impulsive, which might buy faster, but are going to be quicker to bounce out of your product the minute they run into any turbulence. Okay, so a few things that you should include in your primary copy or even your ad copy to make it more effective. One is going to be the core benefit of what they're going to be getting. 2 is going to be the core problem that you're going to be solving, and 3 is going to be the offer. Now, I don't have a particular order that I necessarily like to put these in. The exact scripting strategy that I like to use, well, that will be content for another video, but those are the things that you want to put a strong emphasis on, and everything that doesn't talk about how your products can help them, the problem that you solve, and your offer, what they're going to get and how that's going to get them there, is truly irrelevant. And all you're really doing as a marketer is finding the best way to communicate these things to your ideal customer. But once more, when it comes to targeting, the most important piece that will make or break your ad is going to be your call out, because you could have the right messaging going to the wrong people and your ads don't work.